Hey guys, happy Monday. It's Joe, and it's time for Pocket with Joe. It's Monday, March 6th. We've got a bunch of games on the ice today. Definitely some room to make some money. That is 6 games on the ice. There's some games that I'm not absolutely loving on the board, but we're going to go over all of them. Big shout out to each and every one of you. Let's have a freaking good day here. So Oilers and Sabres to score 3 is -102 to each score 3. I do like that. We should get a high-scoring game out of those two teams, except Washington versus LA, liking the overs on everything else, and that's scary. Ooh, we'll see. Break a couple of these down, but big shout out, if I can talk today, to each and every one of you. I hope your Monday is starting off absolutely fantastically. The first game on the board, we have the San Jose Sharks taking on the Winnipeg Jets. This is one. I can't see this one going over the total. Total set at 6 in this one. The Winnipeg Jets, we know, have been a strong under team. Now they don't have their top goalie in Connor Hellebuyck. We'll see David Ricci probably for them here. They're coming in as a large favorite, and this isn't a team that I'm really wanting to back. The Winnipeg Jets have been letting us down in these games. Yes, they got the win over Edmonton. It was a 7-5 win on Saturday. Not what I expected, though. I expected Edmonton to win both of those with how poorly we've seen the Winnipeg Jets performing. Now, James Reimer expected in or confirmed in goal here for the San Jose Sharks. He has a 3.35 goals against average. Now, this team has come in here losing their last 5 games. This is their first road game here. So this is a nice momentum shifting ability for teams. Can they do it? Timo Meier is gone from this team. This team just isn't the same team without him. This is our first leg of a back-to-back. I don't want to put any of my money on the San Jose Sharks. Could I see them pulling off possibly the upset with Winnipeg having the Minnesota Wild on deck on Wednesday, who are sitting second in the Central? We've got the Jets sitting fourth. I could possibly see it being a look ahead, especially with them coming in confident after getting that win over Edmonton. Now, they cannot take another loss either. They desperately need every single win they can pick up. But when we look at the San Jose Sharks and how they've played versus the Winnipeg Jets, they've gone 6-2 in their last 8 in Winnipeg. Now, Winnipeg did win the last meeting. It was a 4-1 win for the Winnipeg Jets, and they really need this. So it's -200. If you think the Jets can win, you got to take them on the puck line. I don't like them here on the puck line. I really just can't get behind it with what we've seen out of this team. It'll be the Sharks on the puck line at +1.5 at -140 or nothing if you made me pick a side. I'm not going to bet a side in this one. I'm just going to hit that under. I really do think we have this one go under that total of 6. I know Winnipeg just put up 7 goals on Edmonton. I know the defense isn't the best of the San Jose Sharks, but I am expecting enough in this one. And even if it's another 4-1 win and the Winnipeg Jets cover the spread, that puck line, we're still not getting over the total of 6. So I think this is a 3-1, 4-1 style game all day long. I do not see this being one where we get over that total. You took the Kraken on that money line. I love it. Congratulations on that, Joe. Jets money line and the over 4.5 will knock it down to -130. I think that is a nice way to go. I do think this one probably hits 5 goals. So I think that is safe. Yes, they are absolutely terrible, especially right now. We look at the Sharks. They're 12-15-3-1 on the road. But another thing, that puck line, 18-13 on the road on the puck line. Winnipeg 16-16 at home on that puck line. 21-10-0-1 at home. So I think this is an opportunity for the Sharks to keep it tight. The road team's also gone 7-3 in the last 10 meetings, you guys. The next game, the Edmonton Oilers and the Buffalo Sabres. Now, we have a high total here. If you like the over, please shop your lines. I'm seeing 7.5 out there. You want to get the 7 if you like the over. Now, I caution you guys with that. I do think this one goes over, but if you look at trends, how these teams have played versus each other, we have seen these teams play an under-style game versus each other. And we have seen this play out in a couple of these games this season where we have 2 explosive offensive teams that really should dictate that game, and that game has stayed under. So the 4 of the last 5 meetings have gone under the total. but I'm not buying it. I don't think this one goes under the total. If you can get a 7, take it to that over. I also think Edmonton, with how they are playing right now, you'd have to look at Edmonton's team total. I trust in Edmonton a little bit more than the Buffalo Sabres. Both of these teams coming in with a team total of 3.5. Minus 142 to the over for the Edmonton Oilers. You're getting better value on the Buffalo Sabres, but I think this is a 4-3 game at worst. So then we get the push there on that 7. But I do think Edmonton probably wins this one 5-3. So I like the over. I like Edmonton in this game at minus 164. I can't jump on them, and I can't take this one in regulation because I could see this one being pushed, even a 3-3 to overtime, 4-4 to overtime. So I'm not willing to hit the regulation for Edmonton. But I do think if the Sabres come out, play 100% perfect game here, they could get the upset. So it's another reason I'm really cautious of this, because we look at how Edmonton's performed on the road, 1-5 in their last 1-4 in their last 5 road games. They're also 1-4 in their last 5 meetings in Buffalo. So this has been a place that they have struggled to win. I know the Sabres are coming in off that win over the Tampa Bay Lightning. It was a beautiful win. It was a 5-3 win there. The Lightning were absolutely struggling in that game. They were just unable to get those high-powered shots on goal. They still did score 3 goals in that game. It was a 5-3 loss for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, the underdog's also gone 9-2 in the last 11 meetings. So where am I going to find value in this game? I think the best value is to look at that first period. Now we know the books have highly juiced the over 1.5 in the first period. I'm not going to buy it up to 2. Instead, I'm going to get both teams to score in the first period, and this is where we're getting the plus money of this game. Plus 112 for both teams to score in the first period. I will not be shocked if we roll out of this first period like we did with the Devils game yesterday, where it is a 3-goal game. I expect this to be a 3-goal game going into the second period, and both of these teams to be able to get one of the 3 goals. So both teams to score in the first period is coming in at plus 112. And that's what I like best. It's my favorite bet of this whole game. If you're only going to do one bet, that's where I'd put your money. What are we seeing? You've got the 7 and Edmonton versus Buffalo at minus 125. I like it. Let's make some freaking money. Oh my God, my voice. I tell you, I talked so much yesterday. Sabres to win and the over 6.5 or 5.5. You are having faith in the Sabres. I really like what we see now of the Sabres. I would love to see them get this win. I just don't know if they can here. Connor McDavid is just absolutely lighting up that team. Now, their new pickup, and I keep forgetting his name, Ekholm, was added to the roster for the Edmonton Oilers. Now, he is going to be a great addition for them. They needed a nice big man defensively with experience, and Ekholm will give them that experience. So we will see. I'm not positive. I believe he is in the lineup tonight. I believe he played in the last game. So we will see what we get out of him in this one, but I do think it will be a nice change for them. And Edmonton just digging so freaking deep at the moment. So big shout out to each and every one of you. You're going to parlay. So that was Dallas on the money line and the Denver Nuggets on the money line. Denver's got a big game tonight. That will be good. Damian Lillard has been on a hot streak. Okay, you guys are getting my cup of Joe before. So everyone's looking at Damian Lillard's points tonight. You can get 36.5 to the over at minus 135. Or you go 37.5 to the over at minus 110. I'm going to take his rebounds instead. His rebounds over 5.5 rebounds. In the last 10 games, he's averaging 6.2 rebounds. So I think that 5.5 has value at minus 105. Yeah, 30 plus points in Portland to win. Trailblazers, 100% laying the 5.5. That's definitely the way to go with that one. Okay, let's stick to hockey, you guys. We're going to get to the next game here. Otherwise, we'll be here all day talking sports, which I actually don't care about. But if you guys want to start a basketball show, we'll start a basketball show. The Ottawa Senators taking on the Chicago Blackhawks. Cam Talbot expected in goal for the Ottawa Senators. He has been stepping up. The Sens team is becoming relevant again, you guys. This is a team that you definitely want to play tonight. I think this is my favorite game of the night to bet, is taking the Ottawa Senators here in the first period on that puck line, minus the 0.5 on the puck line in the first period. at plus 112. I'm also going to look at them for the full game on that puck line, minus 1.5 on the puck line at minus 115. I'm just not getting the plus money with the full game, but they should destroy the Chicago Blackhawks tonight. Alex Stalock expected in goal for Chicago. Chicago has lost their last 4 games. They lost that one on Saturday to the Predators 4-1, and we look at the Ottawa Senators trending completely in the opposite direction. They've won their last 5 games. They beat the Columbus Blue Jackets on Saturday 5-2. They've won 7 of their last 10 games. The Kraken's on deck on Thursday, but we are Monday here. Everything for me points Senators for the win. You can take their team total over 3.5. It's juiced at minus 150. I want to look at this whole game over or under 6.5. It depends on what Chicago is able to do. Now, Cam Talbot has been playing pretty solid in my opinion. So could he let in a couple? Absolutely. Do I think he realistically does? No, I don't. So I'm not going to touch this total. I would look at the Senators team total, the Senators on the puck line in the first period, and the Senators full game over. That puck line, minus 1.5. So that is where I'm going. Let me know what you guys are doing there. You're taking the Trailblazers as well. I love it. Ottawa, no doubt. Let's go, Sens. Connor McDavid taking the over versus the Sabres. Connor McDavid, he is just, I tell you, I hate that he's in Edmonton. Yeah, I wish your Wild didn't get rid of Cam Talbot either. I really like what we've seen out of Cam Talbot for sure. Sens in regulation is another very solid way to go with this game. I definitely think they get it in regulation. What value are you getting for the Sens in regulation here? When I sometimes like the puck line, I always forget to look at the value in the 60. Let me just see. 60-minute no tie, minus 175. So getting a little juicy with them in regulation, but I do think that they get the win in regulation. I think they get the first period, and I think they come out here and cover the puck line for the full game. They should control it. They go over their team total 3.5 as well. Again, a little juicy at minus 150. So do what you want with that. Benji rolling with the Sens in the first period as well. We're going to get to that Kings game in just a minute, but you're rolling with the Kings in the 1.5. I want to pick Calgary versus Dallas. I want to pick Calgary versus Dallas too. Let's jump into the next game. Sens in regulation, minus 180 over there for Joe. Okay, let's talk about Calgary taking on the Dallas Stars. Now, this is at 8:30 Eastern. I kind of skipped over this game. Skip back. I thought the 9 o'clock game was before the 8:30 game, which I don't know how in my mind. Calgary coming in at plus 112 versus the Dallas Stars. Dallas Stars minus 134. We have seen the total climb from 5.5 up to 6 in this one. Jacob Markstrom expected in goal for the Calgary Flames tonight. He has a 2.94 goals against average, and Jake Ottinger here for the Dallas Stars, the 2.31. Now, I can still remember last season in the playoffs when Dallas came to Calgary. The one only playoff game I went to was when Dallas absolutely crushed us in Calgary. I was bad luck and promised myself I'd never go to another one of their playoff games versus the Dallas Stars, because that was heartbreaking to see. Now, with Calgary going into Dallas here, Calgary's lost their last 5 games, you guys. They're absolutely struggling. They got shut out by the Minnesota Wild on Saturday, 3-0. They have to face the Wild again on deck. I believe it's on Thursday. I don't know what is wrong with Calgary right now. The style of game they're playing is not the style that is leading them to wins. Daryl Sutter, I know, wants them to be a strong defensive team. And yes, they're limiting opponents to 27.1 shots on goal. They are still allowing that 3.6. This team is so strong offensively. They're averaging 35.6 shots on goal per game. They need to convert these shots into goals, and I think we can see the goals come in this one. When we look at Calgary versus the Dallas Stars, and this isn't me being biased at all, the last 3 games, they have won versus the Dallas Stars. The last game was a 6-5 win in January, and the 2 prior, they won 4-2 and 4-3. Calgary is able to put up the goals on Dallas. So I'm going to look at Calgary's team total. It's sitting at 2.5. Hitting it over 2.5 is at minus 128, and it absolutely screams value to me. Then all we need is 3 goals out of the Calgary Flames, win or lose for this team, we still win as long as they get 3 goals. I do think this one goes over the total. So shop those lines. If you can still get a 5.5 out there, get the frickin' 5.5 because we know weirder things happen. But I do think this one is a higher scoring game where I think we're still safe with the 6. This is the first game for Calgary getting out on the road. I do think we see a momentum shift. I think you can look at the usual suspects for their anytime goals and shots on goal. Dallas allows these shots to come in. So they're allowing that 30.9. So looking at shots on goal, I don't mind in this one. I want to be looking at the Dallas Stars' ability to get these shots on goal. If you like anyone for Dallas tonight, take their goals because Calgary is limiting opponents to 27.1. So it's right around, as soon as you start hitting under 29, defenses holding opponents to around 29 shots on goal, that's when I stop looking at player props for those shots on goal. As soon as we hit over that 30, a little bit more confidence, a little bit more wiggle room for these teams to get those shots. Now, taking Calgary outright, you got to have some guts tonight to take them outright. Am I going to take them? I might because everyone and their dog's riding the Dallas Stars. I don't recommend it though, you guys, if you want to put a small sprinkle on Calgary. They might be able to pull off this win. Like I said, they've won the last 3 over the Dallas Stars. Now, the Dallas Stars don't have any look ahead, which I was really hoping for. They got the Sabres on deck on Thursday. They've won their last 3 games. They got a huge win over the Colorado Avalanche. That was a 7-3 win. Not what I expected to see on Saturday. Now, the over is also hit in 4 of the last 5 meetings in Dallas. So we do have some stats to support that over for the full game. The over for the Flames, like I said, last 3 games, they have been able to exceed 2.5 goals. So the lowest being 4 goals in those 3 wins. So I don't know, you guys. I might get there. Stars on the money line and under a 7.5. That is a nice way to go at plus 115. Buy the under 6.5 at minus 170. I agree. Dallas is overrated. Calgary has no energy. And you know why I think they have no energy? Everyone is freaking terrified of Daryl Sutter, including me. When I go down to those games, it's like you can feel his presence, and it's terrifying. Thank God for his wonderful son, Chris Sutter, lighting up the atmosphere in Calgary. Now, Calgary fans booed the Flames the other night. Saturday's loss, they were getting booed. I swear my mom led that booing, so she just was going with it. Okay, Stars on the money line. Okay, LA Kings made such a bad move trading Quick because sitting press conference. Yeah, I think they made a terrible move trading Jonathan Quick as well. He wasn't getting the support by the LA Kings, though, and I think that was ultimately why he was having a hard time there. But they got Corpostello, and I love what we're seeing out of Corpostello. For the Kings, Corpostello got them the win on that last game Saturday. He looked fantastic. I believe it was versus St. Louis Blues, 4-2 win there. So I like what we're going to see out of Corpostello. I think that was a solid move. I think Quick is a good goalie. We're going to see good things in Vegas for him. Let's look. Okay, we did the Ottawa Senators. Flames on the puck line plus 1.5. I do think it's a tight game. 1 point either way, so I don't mind that at all. Now, the Nashville Predators taking on the Vancouver Canucks, 10:30 Eastern for this one. It's a late game. We got a total of 6. We got the Predators coming in, and let me just see if there's been any line movement because I actually expected the Predators to be a slight bigger favorite. They're minus 118 now. It was minus 108 earlier in the day, minus 104 here. For the Vancouver Canucks, it was minus 111. So we have seen a little bit of movement, not enough to get me off the Predators at minus 118. I do like them to come in here and get the win. Saros expected in goal, and he's been phenomenal this season for them with a 2.75 goals against average. Now, Demko is back for the Vancouver Canucks, and I really did expect him to maybe be traded away. But they kept on with Demko. He's got a 3.66 goals against average. We've seen nice play out of him since his return. Vancouver is sitting 6th in the Pacific, and the Preds sitting 5th in the Central. Now the Predators have won their last 2 games. They got that 3-1 win over the Blackhawks, and Vancouver's off that big win over the Toronto Maple Leafs. They were able to beat the Leafs 4-1, which is something that they must be so excited they were able to do. I look at the Preds, so they've been so solid on the road, winning their last 4 road games. They're also 5-1 in their last 6 overall, and they're 4-1 in their last 5 meetings versus the Vancouver Canucks. I think this is a nice opportunity to get a Predators team that is really digging deep at -118 to get the win. I'm going to grab the Preds here on the money line. Now, both these teams have been trending to the under as of late in these games. I am nervous on this total coming in here at 6. Vancouver has been putting up the goals like crazy, and their defense has been allowing these goals, and we've got a total of 6. It doesn't sit good with me. I expected this total to be 6.5. I'm going to stay off. It's like someone knows something in this matchup. So I absolutely can't touch this total. No, there's no way I'm going to touch anything in that for that total. So give me the Predators here at -118 on the money line. And let's call it a night for that game. Okay. Let's look at, I'm just looking at your comments. We're going to talk the LA Kings in a minute here. Your welcome picks from Dave. Nashville to take a huge win. I think they do. I think Nashville gets it. -118. I love it. No T at Joe Sports Corpustello. No score first 10 minutes in the Predators game. I do like that. I think we have that game starting off really slow in that one. So I can see that happening for sure. I don't know what you mean. No T, Corpustello. I'm not sure what you mean there. Kev, thanks for becoming a member of the channel. Appreciate that greatly. I am going to have some exclusive content coming out for members of the channel, so you guys watch for that. Demko is out tonight. I love the Predators even more. Let's see who. I love the Predators, the Predators even more with Demko out for the Vancouver Canucks. Silvos expected here. Yeah, definitely. Preds all the way at -118. Such great value on that. Vancouver to give. This flower was the reason Vancouver went to the playoffs during this year there. Okay, that's going to be a pretty big night there in Vancouver. We should get the best effort out of Vancouver. So that does lead me to thinking this one probably does go over that total, but I'm not going to touch it. Kings Capitals over 5.5. Let's get into that one right now. You are welcome for the quick prop. Yeah, you guys stay tuned for those quick props. I'm just doing a silly little TikTok prop that comes out in my shorts. If you want like reasoning behind those bets, you guys, I'd 100% give you reasoning. 15-second shorts, I really can't give you any reasoning at all. It's why I'm not just grabbing it. Okay. Oh, it's Corpustello. I know, but I always say Corpustello. I put a T in it in my mind. I know it's Corpustello. That's how I spell it. I say it with the T, so I apologize for that. Let's look at the next game here. I thought you're like meaning like tea, like spill the TT with Corpustello. Was really confused. The Washington Capitals and the LA Kings, 10:30 Eastern for this one. The Washington Capitals have won the last 2 games. We know this team was completely struggling with Ovechkin out. They weren't able to score the goals, and they've been able to get those goals with Ovechkin back in the lineup. Now, Darcy Kemper expected in goal for them. He has got 2.77 goals against average, and Copley coming in here for the LA Kings. I love what we've seen out of Copley. He has a 2.79 goals against average. Both of these teams are really strong in their own ways. Like the LA Kings are coming in here able to get these wins in situations where people actually don't expect them to win. They've been playing phenomenal hockey, I think, on both sides of the puck. Do they give their goalie a lot of support? Well, they're getting better at it. They're only holding or allowing opponents 28.3 shots on goal. And the Washington Capitals allowing that 30.2. I trust in Copley and the LA Kings in this situation more. The value I can't get behind here at -154 for the money line, so I'd have to take them in regulation. In regulation drops them down to 102. Do I feel completely confident in this? No, because this could go to overtime. I think this one goes to one or two ways. Either they cover the puck line and they win it by 2 goals, or this one goes to overtime. So me taking it in regulation, for me, it doesn't sit 100% with me, because I think either it's a big win or it's an overtime win. So I'm cautious of the regulation. That's my caution to you guys. But the Capitals have struggled here in LA. They've gone 3-8 in the last 11 games in LA. The Kings just so dominant at home. 19-9-2 overall at home this season. They are 5-0 in their last 5 home games, 4-1 in their last 5 games overall. I think Copley comes out and has a big night here, but I do like that under 6.5. I can't believe that total is at 6.5 between these two. And I know the Caps have been putting up some more goals, but at the end of the day, this is a defensive team, only averaging allowed 2.97 goals per game. Now, Kemper can stand on his head. He doesn't get the support that he used to with his old team in the Colorado Avalanche, but he's still getting support here at 30.2. Shots on goal. So give me the under 6.5 in this one. The last 4 meetings in LA have hit that under. And I know the Washington Capitals have scored 3 or fewer goals in 7 of their last 10 games. So I'm adding that into the equation. I just don't think this is a high scoring one. And we know the Kings have every opportunity to make it a high scoring one, and so do the Capitals. I'm just not feeling it in this game. So give me the Kings here. Like I said, I think this either is an OT win for them or they win it on the puck line. I just don't see that regulation at that value. I just can't get behind that regulation. So that's where I'm going with that one. I'm just looking. Yeah, he is confirmed there as well. Reasoning, you mean it's not because of the jersey color? No, I don't pick those quick ones because of the jersey color. I do my research, you guys. This is my notebook. This is my research since Super Bowl. So we need a new book any day here. So those quick picks are not coming out for that. Caps on the money line. Look at OT. Yeah, I could see that. And that's what I mean. This one could go to OT. It could be a good call to take this game to OT. I can see this one being one of those battles on the ice. There's no look aheads for either of these teams. Washington Capitals, though, another reason I like the LA Kings here. It's their last leg of a road trip. They did win the last 2, but they beat the Sharks in that last game. It was an 8-3 win over the Sharks. And we've got the LA Kings rolling in here. They won their last 2. They got the win over the Blues on Saturday, 4-2 win. So I think the Kings are where my money wants to go. I just can't back the Capitals in this situation. So let's do a quick recap, you guys. And let's look at some goalie props as well after. So if you want to stick around, we'll look at those goalie props after. But let's do the recap for anyone that needs to get going here. The San Jose Sharks and the Winnipeg Jets. In this one, it's the first leg of a back-to-back for the San Jose Sharks. The Sharks have done really strong in Winnipeg, which is crazy. 6-2 in their last 8 meetings in Winnipeg. The Winnipeg Jets have the Wild on deck on Wednesday, which is a Central Divisional opponent. They're sitting 4th in the Central. They got the win the last time over the Sharks. I am intrigued by the Sharks here on that puck line at +1.5 at -140. I do think they can have this ability to keep it tight, but I think the best bet is looking at the under. So for the parlay, if I can find a pen that works, I'm going to take the Sharks and the Jets under 6. Now, if you can find a 6.5 out there, pay a little bit more juice. I would like it a little bit better so we don't get that push. The Edmonton Oilers and the Buffalo Sabres. I like Edmonton's team total over 3.5. We know Edmonton has to score goals to win games. This could be an opportunity for the Buffalo Sabres to pull off the upset because the Oilers really have struggled in Buffalo, only winning 1 of the last 5 meetings in Buffalo. They've also struggled on the road, and they're in a 1-4. They're 1-4 in their last 5 in a 4th game of a 4-6 situation. So this also leads to why the Buffalo Sabres could win. The Sabres have the Islanders on deck, so this is their first leg of a back-to-back as well for the Buffalo Sabres. They're going to be hungry to try to pull off this win tonight. My favorite bet of this whole game is not to look at the whole game total, is to look at that first period. I expect the goals to come in that first period, you guys. There's too much juice over 1.5. I can't bet it. I think this is a 3-1 or a 2-1 style first period. One team scoring 2, the other team scoring 1. For both teams to score in the first period is plus 112. It's one of my favorite bets, best bets of the day. I would be very shocked if both of these teams, with the defense and the goaltending we've seen out of both of these teams and the offensive firepower, we don't see 3 goals in that first period and both teams being able to put up 1. So if you're looking for one of my best bets, it is the Oilers and the Sabres, both teams to score first period, which is at plus 112 over on FanDuel. Like I said, the total, I cannot see this one staying under that total. These teams trend to that under when they play against each other. We've seen weirder things happen in matchups like this where it should have been a highly explosive offensive game, like we saw like the Florida Panthers in some of their games. They've been completely limited, a team that fires at will, but we're not seeing the production out of the offenses in some of these games. I would take over if you want to take the full total. Now the Calgary Flames and the Dallas Stars. I love the Calgary Flames team total over 2.5. I'm not being a homer in this one. Trust me, I can bet against my team any given day. I am going to sprinkle also on the Calgary Flames. I got to do it, you guys. On the money line, I think they could pull off this win here. They've been so phenomenally strong versus the Dallas Stars, winning the last 3 matchups. Like I said, in January, they won the 6-5. For them to win this game, they will have to explode offensively. I know Daryl Sutter wants them to play a defensive game. He just can't get the wins with Calgary trying to play a defensive game. So I lean on the over for the full game of this one as well. This line has moved from 5.5 up to 6. We know the Dallas Stars can score. I would look at Jacob Markstrom for his save shots on goal as well. The Dallas Stars are averaging 32.5 shots on goal. So we're going to break this down. So they're getting these shots. Calgary is allowing 27.5. I think they'll have to allow more out of the Dallas Stars in this one. So I'll look in a couple minutes what his save shots are. But for the parlay, I'm going to take Calgary's team total over 2.5 for that one. And then for that Oilers game for the parlay, it will be the Oilers team total over 3.5. Now that is juiced at minus 142, but I don't mind it as a straight up bet too. It's just reaching the top of my juice tolerance for Calgary. Tyler Toffoli was going on a huge roll. I'd look at him for the anytime goal. Maybe Jonathan Huberdeau. I'm going to have a quick look at a couple of players that play strong versus the Dallas Stars. We'll pull that up in a second when we look at those goalie props as well. The Ottawa Senators and the Chicago Blackhawks. Give me the Sens all day, twice on Thursday. Give me the Sens in regulation for the parlay. I think they get the win here. Too juicy on that money line. For straight up bets, my favorite bets for the day include the Sens. I'm going to take the Sens on the puck line in the first period. Minus 0.5 on that puck line for the first period is plus 112. All we're asking them is to walk out of that first period up 1 goal over the Chicago Blackhawks. For the full game, we're asking them to go up by 2 goals, and we're getting minus 115. Yes, there's still value there. Yes, I still do think the Ottawa Senators can pull that off. Like I said, this team is rolling so hot at the moment. They've won their last 5 games, and Chicago has lost their last 4. Yes, this team never gives up. So I do think if you really want to take the total for the full game, I'd look at the over 6.5. But I like what I've seen out of Cam Talbot since he has been back. I think he had a couple of goals that were allowed in with a bit of struggles, but I do think Cam Talbot will have a strong night here versus the Chicago Blackhawks. So Sens team total, if you want to hit that, over 3.5 at minus 150, the Sens on the puck line and the Sens on the puck line first period. The Nashville Predators and the Vancouver Canucks. Give me the Preds here on the money line. It's at minus 118. It's one of my favorite bets of the day. They won the last matchup 5-4. I just can't trust in the Vancouver Canucks. This team has struggled on both sides, and I know that they have been playing a little bit better as of late, and they got that win over the Maple Leafs 4-1. But I'm not buying into this team. I think the Leafs had a really bad game more so than the Vancouver Canucks. Absolutely dominated in that game. Now, these teams have been trending to the under as of late, but they do go over the total when they normally meet. I think this one probably goes over that total. I was a little cautious of it before, but now Demko is not in goal. I do think this one could get over that total, or the Preds could just get over that total. Remember, they've won 5 of their last 6. The last game on the board, the Washington Capitals versus the LA Kings. For the parlay, I'm going to take the Kings on the money line. I do think the Kings get the win today. This might be an opportunity where we took the Kings on the money line and maybe the Senators in regulation, parlay those two together, because it's hard here with the Kings. I do think the Kings get the win. I just see it going one of two ways. Either they win this one in OT, because I think the Capitals are going to put up a really good game, or we see them win it by 2. And I think that's because of the empty netter. So between the puck line and the money line, or regulation, I don't like the regulation because I could see it going to OT. So I think that I've got to throw out the window. I either take a chance on the LA Kings there, plus or laying 1.5, or this is a good live bet situation when we come out. If we see the Washington Capitals go up at first, then grab the LA Kings with that value. Just at -150 where it's sitting right now, I can't take them here on the money line. But we will see if the LA Kings go down, they are not going to keep fighting in this game. There are some teams that go down and they stop fighting. This is not one of them. So give me the Kings here on the money line. If you are brave, and I'm not sure if I'll 100% get to the window here, take the Kings on that puck line at -1.5, or you could take this game to go to overtime. If it goes to overtime, that puck line cover is lost. But I think if we get the puck line win, it's because of the empty netter when the Caps pull Kemper in goals. So that is where I'm going with that one. I'm just sorry. I'm just reading comments. I have a hard time reading. So let's not reading, just reading and thinking. Recap of that parlay. We got the Sharks and the Jets under 6. We got the Calgary Flames team total over 2.5. The Oilers team total over 3.5. The Sens in regulation. If you like their goals, you could do their goals instead. The Preds on the money line. The Kings on the money line. My 2 favorite bets, the Oilers and the Sabres. Both teams to score in the first period. At +112. Like I said, I think there's 3 goals in that first period. And then the Sens on the puck line in the first period, -0.5, is getting us +112 as well. Both of those, +112. Got to be lucky when you're getting the same odds for both of those. So that is what I am liking. They absolutely don't, Johnny. I'm not even putting up that comment on the screen because I love the people over there. They are amazing individuals. Your Sabres, Oilers, both teams score first period. I love it, Joe. We're going to roll with that. Playoffs would already started my favorite series. Jack Eichel versus Buffalo. Yeah, I love what we're seeing out of the Vegas Golden Knights. My flat brim hat, I was wearing it before, and a lot of people make fun of me in a flat brimmed hat. So I don't wear it. That is definitely a great bet, Kelly. I like that. Toffoli over 2 shots on goal at -140. So that is good. I think he gets the anytime goal as well. We know Toffoli has been rolling incredibly hot. So I might just put in the over 2.5 if he's on that too, because I know how fantastic he is at capping hockey. The Sharks over the Jets. It could happen. It really could happen. So you guys, Markstrom over 26.5. Yes, that reminds me. Let's get to these goalie props right now. I wanted to look at Calgary and I wanted to look at the Stars. So Jake Ottinger and Markstrom both in goal. Now, Markstrom, like you said, 26.5 at -102 to the over. And Jake Ottinger coming in here at 30.5, -126 to the over. -102 for Markstrom. Let's just look at these numbers here. I think both of these are pretty solid numbers. We know Calgary's getting those shots on goal. Calgary averaging 35.6 shots on goal per game. Dallas giving up 30.9. When we look at Jake Ottinger to save 30.5, I don't think that is unreasonable at all. We are paying a little bit of juice on Jake Ottinger to that over at minus 126. I think Calgary comes out here and they got booed by their home crowd, you guys. They have to come out here strong. I think they come out strong. They come out firing. They're going to shoot over their average. I expect them to hit 38 shots on goal tonight. If Ottinger's got a 2.31982, I really do think we could see him saving at least 33 shots on goal. Calgary's not going to get 5 goals in this game. So give me Jake Ottinger over 30.5, save shots on goal, minus 126 over on FanDuel. I think he saves 33 shots tonight. Now looking at Jacob Markstrom, he's coming in at 26.5. Calgary limits our opponents to 27.1. Dallas will be able to get more, but I don't know if it will be enough. It's 32.5. Markstrom's going to let in a couple because I do think this one goes over. I'm going to stay off Jacob Markstrom. I do think Jake Ottinger, though, goes over the 30.5. Let's look at a couple other props that we have out there for these games. The goal scorers for Calgary, Nelson Kadri is coming in at plus 210. Tyler Toffoli is at that plus 220. Tyler Toffoli being my favorite here. Kadri, a second favorite. Or Majapani is at plus 285, so we're getting great value on him. Let's just look at what Majapani has been able to do versus the Dallas Stars, and we'll see how he normally performs, because I think he's normally pretty solid versus the Stars. Give me 1 second, you guys. Okay, so Majapani has 4 goals, an assist, and a plus-minus of +5 in 8 games versus the Stars. Yeah, last time out versus the Stars, he was able to get 1 goal, 1 point. The game before that, he got 1 goal and 1 assist. So let's look at his points tonight, see if we can get any value with Majapani. He's coming in at over for a point, over half a point at plus 114. I do think Majapani is a solid look for this game to get those. He has had at least a point in the last 3 games. There was 1 game that he didn't have a point. The game before that, he had a point. So I really do think it's a prime opportunity. Take Andrew Majapani at plus 114 for the point. Okay. You want to make me cry? Are you trying to make me cry? Your name shouldn't be Sweet James. I do think my Calgary Flames are done, though. But don't rub it in, okay? Like, it's just really sad with what I'm seeing out of Calgary right now. The Sabres, I'm not going to take the over. I'm going to take the over in the first period, but because we're not getting any value, if you want to parlay the over 1.5 in the first period, absolutely go and parlay that. You're just going to pay so much juice on it. I do like both teams to score in the first period at plus 112 for both teams to score in that first period. And yes, if you can hit that like, hit that subscribe, smash that like, actually, I would really appreciate it. Sabres and Calgary on the money line. You are going bold tonight. Tell me which other one. It's going to be crazy. Yeah, don't make me cry, Sweet James. Come on, you got sweet in your name. The over 7 for sure is happening. I do think that over 7 comes in. I just like that first period way better. Sharks with an opening goal versus the Jets, and I could see that coming in as well. You guys, I think that's about it. Maybe let's look at Cam Talbot's numbers here. For the Ottawa Senators, I do think Cam Talbot is another interesting way to look. The only problem here is the Buffalo Sabres the Chicago Blackhawks do not get these shots. So Cam Talbot's coming in at 24.5. Blackhawks are averaging what? 26.9. Cam Talbot save shots 24.5, and Ottawa is allowing 31.7. I wouldn't touch that. That is too close to what we're gonna see. LA Kings for Copley, and maybe looking at Copley and Kemper. Now, the LA Kings hold opponents to 28.3. So Copley's number has to be coming in at 27 before I will touch it. So let's just see. Copley is coming in at 25.5. I would take him over at 25.5 at minus 118. We know the Washington Capitals are getting these shots on goal. They're averaging 31.6. So Copley, I love over 25.5. I thought we were going to get 26.5, 27. So I like that. What was the juice on the over on Copley there, you guys? It was minus 112 for the over for Copley. So those goalie props I like. We're going to scrap Markstrom, even though I do think he probably hits right around that number. Calgary's been doing so phenomenally at limiting opponents' ability to get these shots. Daryl Sutter wants this team to play that way. I think Calgary has to just let it all go. Like maybe they should sing the Let It Go song and just start firing. And so I'm going to strap Markstrom, but I do think we are seeing better play out of him as of late. I'm going to take Jake Ottinger over 30.5 save shots on goal. Now, with that said, I still do think Calgary scores 3 goals in this one. I just think we look at Calgary, they're averaging just under 36 shots on goal per game. There's no way Jake Ottinger isn't getting hit with at least 38 shots on goal tonight by Calgary. He doesn't let in 5 goals in this one. So give me Jake Ottinger for over 30.5 save shots. It's at minus 126. And then Cam Talbot, we're going to scrap that. That's too close to the number as well. But I will take Phoenix Copley over 25.5 at minus 112 for the LA Kings. I do think he comes out strong. The Kings limit the opponents to 28.8, but we know the Washington Capitals, they are going to be firing. They need this win just as bad as the LA Kings want it. So that's where I'm going, you guys. I want to thank you so much for joining me here on Pocket. We will be back here tomorrow, 3:30 Eastern. So don't forget, join me. Join me on Sports Grid tonight. I'm guesting. I don't know what time. I'll post it below, but going to be over there with Gabe, I think, at... I've got to convert Eastern really quick in my head at 7:12 Eastern. So if you guys want to join then, come by, say hi. I'll be talking some of the basketball games. Don't forget, I got Portland Trailblazers too, and I gave you Damian Lillard over 5.5 rebounds. I think that does hit nicely tonight. Everyone's riding his points, so it scares me. Everyone's on the points. I do think the rebounds come in. You guys have a good one. Keep smiling. Let's make some freaking money, and I will talk to you guys all tomorrow. We'll see you later. Bye, guys.